Good morning, everybody. What a wonderful group, all you beautiful yogis out here. Thanks for coming out this morning. I'm Tom. I'm subbing for Kristen this morning, which is an honor. And that's kind of like, I think if someone says, hey, you want to step in for like Mick Jagger or McCartney, no big deal, right? So we'll give this a go while she's down in Baja, soaking up some sun, hopefully. So thanks everyone for coming out. Thanks everyone for joining us on Zoom. As I mentioned, I'm Tom on behalf of Urban Yoga Studio here in Palm Springs. What a beautiful studio we have. And as usual, make sure you visit our website, urbanyoga.org. That'll give you all the latest in terms of our scheduling, classes going on. You can visit that virtual tip jar as well to keep this wonderful community going strong. So it's great to see such a wonderful group out here. So Valentine's Day, great day for some self-love, a little self-care, and just work on that most intimate relationship we have, which is ourselves, right? So let's take care of ourselves first, and then we can kind of bring that love out into the world. So it's just going to be a nice, easy, gentle flow class this morning. Do what you need to do, follow your breath, follow my lead, but you can do your own thing along the way. So let's just get ourselves organized here. Get yourself in a nice, easy seat, Sukhasana. So sit yourself up on a blanket if you have it. If that's not comfortable for you, you can also be in Hero's Pose or something else that you know is kind to your body. So I'm just gonna wear these. Hopefully I can still kind of see you guys and connect with you all. So let's get ourselves situated here. Just get the bones stacked up, start to stack that heart up over the hips, head over the heart, and we'll just here build a little bit of heat with the hands, rub them together, work the backs, front, build some of that prana, build some of that energy, and then go ahead and just cup those, place those over the eyes as we begin to draw that awareness inward. As always, we begin with our guide, our own personal guide, which is our breath. Check in with your guide this morning. Begin to cultivate that connection with the breath. You can place the hands down on the thighs. And just begin to draw the breath in through the nostrils, over the back of the throat. Just begin to fill up the torso. Just searching for those spaces that the breath doesn't usually travel to. Not forcing anything, just letting it happen naturally. Begin to draw that breath into the spaces in between the ribs, on the sides. Begin to lengthen those exhalations to a count of 4 or 5, just letting everything go. And just stay with that rhythm of your breath throughout your practice. Let it be your guide. It'll tell you if you need to back off. It'll keep you balanced if you're pushing yourself. Let's just take a few moments here to just settle in and notice the qualities of the moment. Notice the sensations of touch, the temperature on your skin. Notice your seat and your root grounding into the earth as it supports you underneath. Let the head and the crown be light as it lengthens the spine, creating more space for that breath. Just beginning to soak in, absorb, see what you can let in. And then just scanning the body here this morning, any bits of tension, tightness, see what you can let go of. Any tension you might have in the face, around the eyes or the jaw. Soften the throat. Soften the heart space. Starting to feel everything as we pay attention to individual parts of the body, all starting to come together in one collective union. That is the yoga. Sounds off in the distance. Just noticing. Let's take one big collective breath in, drawing in through the nose, filling up, lengthening that spine. Big collective exhale, grounding down and rooting down. Softly blink the eyes open. Just doing that little exploration of self. Just turn to the people next to you, acknowledge them. Thank you everyone for coming. The wonderful, beautiful community we have here. All right, let's get started here. Let's just go ahead and roll those shoulders up, back, and down. Just starting to broaden across the chest, creating some space here in the clavicles. Let's inhale those arms up overhead. Take the gaze up, let the throat open up, root down through that tailbone. And draw a big breath in as we exhale. Squeeze the arms down, pinch the shoulder blades together, and open up through the heart. Inhale back up, look up, lift up. As we exhale, we're gonna just take a gentle twist, take that right hand across the thigh, roll that back shoulder back, twist from the base of the spine, and go ahead and add the gaze last. You can take a moment here just to back off as you fill up again with air. And exhale, twist a little deeper, just getting warmed up. Gently release, inhale back up. Lift up, look up, root down through that seat. Exhale, we'll take that twist over to the other side. Roll that back shoulder, creating the spine. Using that hand on that thigh for a little bit more leverage here as you deepen the twist. All right, let's go ahead and release. Just place those hands down on the thighs or the knees and just begin to stir the torso here. So just rotating around, feeling all the corners of your pelvis having that contact with the earth. So scooping forward with the heart, scooping the belly back. Maybe you want to add the shoulders in a little bit and kind of dip as you go, just starting to create some space, feeling that rhythm of our practice. We'll take that in the other direction. And we'll go ahead and pause there. Let's just take some seated cat-cows here. So just use those hands, place them down on the knees. Go ahead and roll the shoulders back and down. Lift up, look up. Deep breath in. As you exhale, push down through the knees, scoop out the belly, sit back into the pelvis. And inhale up, move with your breath. Drawing in big sips of air. Exhaling, scooping back. If you want to go ahead and add the arms, you can inhale up, cactus here. Exhale, push your arms away. You can kind of give a little side to side motion here, feeling that in the mid back, low back. Inhaling up, squeezing shoulder blades down. Exhale, push it away. And let's go ahead and let that go. All right, let's get these wrist warms up. Just go ahead and interlace fingers together. And just some figure eights here, starting to work all those little snack, crackle, pops out. And this is always fun for me to watch you guys when I say go the other way. And everyone just goes, whoop. All right. All right, go ahead and push it away. Do some just circles here. All right, go ahead and take the palms together, or the tops of the hands together, and push them together so you're feeling a stretch here in the tops of the forearms. You can kind of play around with that, pointing down, drawing back up, just stretching those tops of the forearms and wrists. And then inverting that, we're gonna go ahead and just fingertips down, push the palm forward, and then to whatever degree is good for you here, just getting a nice stretch here in the top of the forearm. You can kind of do one finger at a time, whatever feels good, wherever that tension is, just beginning to work through that, work it out. Other side. Working out those computer hands, texting hands, all that good stuff. All right, let's shake it out. Flick your wrists like you're flicking water off of them. Flap your wings. All right, wonderful, guys. All right, let's go ahead and roll on over. Let's take it to a tabletop position. So you can have a blanket here. We're pretty padded out here with the grass, but if you're at home, just a little extra padding there for the knees. Get yourself organized, as Kristen likes to say, and just stacking up hips right over those knees and lining up shoulders right over those wrists. We'll go ahead and wake up the feet here, the tops of the feet. These are our anchors. And then just go ahead and begin to work through some cat-cow, getting some nice spinal flexion here. So go ahead and lift up through the heart, broaden across those clavicles, lift that tailbone up, press down into the tops of the feet, those anchors here. And then exhale, begin to push the floor away, reducing that amount of space in between the shoulder blades. Draw the gaze down and in, and begin to fire up the belly here. Move with your breath. Lift up through the tail. Big sip of air. Pause for a minute. Exhale, push the floor away. Draw that gaze down and in towards the belly. Move with the rhythm of your breath. Getting some nice spinal movement here. Add on whatever else might feel good. A little sway side to side in those hips. Maybe you're looking over one shoulder and then the other. And then slowly bring yourself back to center. And let's go ahead and start working through the shoulders here. So go ahead and place one hand in front of your face here. Inhale that other arm up to the sky, maybe some circles with that wrist. Big sip of air. As you exhale, begin to drop down and thread the needle through. Breathe into the backside of the body. Maybe you take that hand that's out in front of your face and you bring it around to the back, using that for a little bit of leverage in that twist. Let's take one more big breath where you are. If you have that hand behind the back, go ahead and place it down in front of the face. We'll bring that arm back up to the sky, shake it out, and we'll take that over to the other side. Getting ourselves set up here. Inhale, big opening, big circle with that wrist. Move slowly, move intentionally, almost like you're moving through water, stirring the air. Drop it down nice and slow. Do whatever you did on that first side to just balance everything out. Drawing that breath into those spaces of the body that normally it doesn't go. Seeing what you can fill up with, seeing what you can let go. Take your time, nice and easy as we move up out of this pose. Draw that shoulder back up. And we'll go ahead and place it back down. Go ahead and walk the palms forward. We're going to drop down into a puppy pose. So here we want the hips still lined up right over those knees. Keep them up nice and high so our tailbone is up. And begin to walk those fingertips forward and then begin to sink down through the heart here. So we're getting a nice stretch through the pectoral muscles, drawing that breath in towards the armpits. Let your head be heavy and just sink down as you melt down through your heart. Let's take one more deep breath in here. Exhale, let it go. Begin to bring yourself up, and we're going to go ahead and just push the hips forward. We're going to come all the way down to the belly. So begin to work those hips backwards. Just kind of shimmy them back and forth. We want to be nice and long through the thighs. Tops of the feet flat on the ground. These are our anchors here. Coming into a Sphinx pose. So draw those elbows right underneath the shoulders. Make sure you're not sinking into those shoulders. So you want to be nice, pulling your chest forward. And check in with that belly here, that it's not just laying on the ground. This is an active pose. So draw that belly button to the back of the spine. Press down through those tops of the feet. Draw that heart space forward. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, look over one shoulder. Take a breath in here. Let's draw it back to center. Take that to the other side. And back center. Taking a moment here, draw the breath in. This time as we exhale, we're gonna push down into the forearms and we're gonna draw the gaze inward. You can add on here as much as you want. You're pulling that belly button up and in. If you wanna bring the thighs up, it's gonna be a little bit more intense. You're gonna get a little shaking going on. Go ahead and drop down and just move through that a few times, whatever degree is comfortable for you. Draw the breath in. Exhale, bring the gaze down and in. Squeezing all that energy into the center of the body. All right, let's go ahead and draw the palms underneath those shoulders. We're gonna work our way up into a downward facing dog. So you can go ahead and just sit yourself back, tuck the toes under, lift up through that tailbone and just begin to pedal out your dog one leg at a time. Take a moment here and let's pay attention to our toes. Go ahead and lift one foot up, drop the big toe down, and then spread all 5 of those toes out on one side. And then do the same on the other. So place the big toe down, spread that pinky toe out on the mat. So you're getting some space in between those toes. Come up onto your toes. So you got kind of the Barbie doll feet going on. Take a big breath in, and then exhale, sink down through those heels. You can walk the feet a little bit more forward if you're trying to get those heels down a little bit more. If they don't get down, no big deal. Take a deep breath in here. As we exhale, take your time and begin to walk your feet up towards your hands, getting a nice calf stretch as you go through it. Take a look at those toes, spread them out nice and wide again. Let's go ahead and halfway lift here. So we're gonna draw the crown of the head forward, push those thighs back, flatten out the spine. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, sink in. You can bend the knees. Go ahead and grab opposite elbows and just let that head hang heavy here. Getting a nice release in that low back. Bending and straightening those legs a little bit here. Just releasing the neck with maybe a little shake of yes or no. Just let it all hang. Let's go ahead and halfway lift again, Arduo Uttanasana. So draw that energy up through the feet, push those thighs back, shoot that crown forward, big sip of air. Exhale, fold in one more time. Now, as we come up to mountain pose, just take your time here, move with intention. Draw that energy up through the earth, into the feet, into the calves, and begin to just roll up through the spine one vertebrae at a time. Noticing that energy coming up through the thighs. When you get about halfway, go ahead and roll those shoulders back, lift those arms outwards. Go ahead and bring them up to the sky. Push the hips forward, gentle back bend here. Big breath in. Place those palms together, draw them into heart center. Press those thumbs in against the sternum, lift the heart up, and then just close the eyes here, mountain pose. Let the hands fall down to the sides. Just feel that energy cascade down through the body that we've begun to create in our practice. Let's just take a moment here to tune into this strong foundational pose. Check in with those toes. Are they spread nice and wide? Begin to draw the kneecaps up and in, just giving a little action there. Check in with the belly, draw that belly button towards the back of the spine as you tuck in those lower ribs, sort of plugging into the hip points. Broaden through that chest, relax the heart. Spread the fingertips nice and wide. Strong foundation. Crown light and lifted. Let's go ahead and blink the eyes open. Inhale those arms up and over. We'll just go ahead and grab one wrist. Just reach it up and out as you give a gentle side body stretch. Breathe into those spaces of the ribs as you pull that hand away. Keep that belly active. Back up. And we'll take that to the other direction. All right, let's take it back up. Go ahead and bring the palms in towards the shoulders. And press the palms away like you're pressing away two walls. Feeling some active energy there. Go ahead and make some fists here. And just begin to roll those wrists open, getting some nice stretches through the forearm. Take that the other direction. All right, let's go ahead and open the arms up nice and wide. Exhale, we're going to cross one elbow over the other and just begin to walk those fingertips around the back. Take a deep breath in, fill up. Exhale, squeeze a little bit more, drawing the elbows down. Inhale, open back up. Exhale, cross over the other side. Walk those fingertips around. Draw the breath into those spaces that normally we don't. Exhale, squeeze. Give yourself a nice little hug there. Yeah, a little shimmy side to side. I like that. All right, I'm just going to turn around here. We're going to take one arm up overhead. Go ahead and bend that elbow, working into the shoulders a little bit more. You're just going to give that elbow just a little bit of a nudge here as you walk those fingertips down the back. And then go ahead and clasp the hand with the opposite, and then turn your head to the side with the elbow up. Go ahead and pull the arms apart, so you're getting a nice stretch here through that shoulder. Press the side of the head kind of into that tricep. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Go ahead and bring that elbow back and up, walk the fingertips down. So we got some options here, okay? We're gonna go ahead and attempt to bind. If not, you can just grab onto your shirt. You can also have a strap. If you're going for the bind, go ahead and rotate that thumb downwards. Bend the elbow as you bring it up towards the middle of the back. You might just be here. If you can connect here, great. If not, that's all good too. Press the back of the head into the arm. Push the hips forward a little bit. Open up, look up. Let's take one more big breath in here. Exhale, let it all go. Shake it out. All right. Notice how one side might feel a little bit different than the other one. And we'll do that same thing on the other side. All right, what did we do here? Let's go ahead, inhale up. We're gonna bend that elbow. Use that other hand to just guide it back a little bit, not forcing anything, as you walk those fingertips down the center of the back. Go ahead and clasp the arms. Take that gaze over to the side and pull those arms apart. Breathe into the center of the back. We'll go ahead and release. Draw that elbow back and up as you work it down. Take that arm out to the side, rotate those fingers down, bend the elbow, reach for what you can get a hold of. This is great with a strap as well. You can kind of pull that strap in opposite directions, helping to open up those shoulders. I'm doing good, everyone looking good. All right. Let's take one more big breath in here. Exhale, let's let it all go, shake it all out. All right, let's go ahead, inhale up. Exhale, we're gonna fold back in here. Inhale, let's halfway lift. Push those thighs back, draw that crown forward. And then go ahead and grab yourself a block if you have it. If you don't, no big deal. We're gonna go ahead and place one hand on the block. And so we wanna bend that knee with the same hand that's down on the block. If you don't have a block, don't worry about it. You can reach for that ground, or you can just have the hand maybe on the opposite thigh here. So just grab for whatever you can get a hold of. But we want that knee bent with the hand down. And then as we inhale and draw the other arm up, straighten that opposite leg. So you should get a nice stretch in that IT band of the straightened leg. So like I said, if you don't have a block, you can just have your hand on that straight leg, nice and strong, foundational. Opening up to the chest, stacking up the shoulders. You can kind of play around with straightening and bending that straight leg, feeling that stretch in the outer hip there. Let's take our time. We'll go ahead and shift on over to the other side. So we place one hand down or on that leg, bend that same knee, straighten that other leg, inhale it up. Hold a lot of tension in that IT band, in those hips. Let's take one more big breath in. Let's go ahead and let that go. Place your block on out of the way. Keep it close by. We'll go ahead and inhale, halfway lift again. Exhale, fold it in. Let everything hang heavy. Take your time. Bend the knees, draw that energy up through the toes, in through the legs, the thighs, into your core and your belly. Take those arms up, out to the side. Lift up, look up, open the throat. Push those hips forward. Palms to heart center. Close the eyes. Let that energy just cascade through the body like a waterfall. All right. Let's go ahead and take a nice wide stance. So you can be on your mat. You can turn a little bit sideways if you need to. We want the toes slightly pointed in, the heels slightly pointed out. Make sure no ants are coming to your party, which they will. You can have that block close by, just sort of right in the center underneath the face if you need it. And let's just take a moment here. Roll those shoulders out and open. Shoot those fingertips out and up. Push the hips forward. Lift up, look up. Big breath in. Exhale, swan dive down. Let the head be heavy. You can grab for the backs of the calves or thighs. Helps to add just a little stability. Let the head be heavy and come all the way drawing down to the earth. You can have that block underneath the head. If you have a headstand in your practice and you feel like going into that, go for it. Just a little inversion here, just helping slow down the nervous system. Some people say it reverses your blood flow. I don't think that's not physically possible. But lots of good stuff in that inversion. Just let everything kind of go. Tune into the breath. Tune into the qualities of the moment. Let the yoga happen. All right, let's take our time. Let's go ahead and place hands on the block or in front of you. We'll just take a little halfway lift so that blood flow begins to draw back down through the body. We don't pass out, as Kristen usually says. Big sip of air. We'll go ahead and place one hand down in front of your face and just take a gentle twist here as you stack up the shoulders, open up. Some more circles with that wrist that's up in the air. Wave at the parade going by. Maybe that's just in my head. All right, big breath in, guys. Go ahead and take your time. Move consciously, switch it on over to the other side. It's nice just moving around out here at the park, checking out all the different views, just drinking it all in. All right, let's go ahead and place that hand back down. Go ahead and bring the palms up to the hips. Make sure you're not lifting up with your head, the weight of your head. Use your core here. So draw up through the heart and your core. We're gonna take it into a warrior two. So go ahead and take your time here. We're gonna turn one toe out and open. We got a nice heel to arch alignment. So that back foot is perpendicular to the back of the mat. Take a moment here, make sure this shoulder is not sinking forward. So roll that shoulder back behind you. And then take a moment, line that knee up right over that front leg. Extend the arms out. And then just take a minute here, roll those shoulders open as you lengthen through those arms. Big breath in here. Exhale, palms down, sink in. Your anchors here are that big front toe, that back edge of that back foot. Lock in there. We'll go ahead and reverse that warrior. Take your time, like you're moving water or stirring the air. Let that backhand slide down the leg, or you can bring it back behind you for a little bit more leverage. Like I said, make sure you're not sinking forward in that chest. You're open. Draw the breath in. Breathe into those spaces on the sides of the ribs. Take your time. Come back out of that. I like to always do this when I come into warrior two. Roll open the shoulders, sink it down. We'll take it to extended side angle. So options here. You can take that elbow right on that top of that knee or thigh. You can have that block on the inside as well. Same thing here. We don't want that front shoulder dipping down, so try to open up the front of the chest as much as possible. We'll go ahead and take that other arm up in front of us and then reach it up and over. So we have a nice long line of energy from the back of the foot all the way up to those fingertips. All right, move with intention. Use your core strength to lift you back up. Go ahead and take that back arm out in front of you, and we'll go into eagle arms here. So we're gonna wrap that other arm underneath. If you can't do the full bind, all we're really trying to do is spread those shoulder blades apart in the back. So you can just use that as a little bit of leverage, opening up through the back. Draw the elbows up. Exhale, squeezing down, sink in one more time. All right, let's go ahead and release. We'll go ahead and bring ourselves back to center here for a minute. We're gonna take that over to the other side. Actually, let's just heel toe the feet in for a little bit. Just kind of shake all that out. It's probably a little bit strong on the legs. Just kind of let all that go for a minute. You need a little sip of water, coffee. Maybe you got a mimosa at home already, I don't know. Sunday. All right, let's get ourselves organized, set up, taking it to the other side. All right, so get yourself organized. Heel to arch alignment. Got our anchors here, that big toe, that back edge of the foot. And go ahead and extend those arms out to the side, roll those shoulders open. Big breath in, exhale, sink in. Inhale, let's reverse that warrior. Move slowly, move with intention. Stir the matter, stir the air. Take your time. Let's take it into extended side angle. Go ahead and drop that elbow down. Roll that other shoulder back behind you. And a lot of times we just kind of take that other arm up and over, and it kind of gets caught on that shoulder. So take it in front of you first, and then over the top. Make sure you're not sinking into that front shoulder, so create some space here. Active in the belly. Squeeze all that energy into the center of the body. All right, use your core strength, bring it all the way up. Shoot that back arm out in front of you. Take the other arm up and underneath. Draw the elbows up. Exhale, sink in a little deeper. Stay for one more breath. Let that all go. Heel toe the feet in just a little bit. And here we're gonna go ahead and shoot the toes out, the heels in a little bit, coming into goddess pose. So want to lengthen through these thighs. Try not to let your heart dip forward. So you want to be open through the chest here. Sink down through that tail, up through the crown. Inhale up, we'll straighten the legs. Palms to heart center and sink back down. Maybe a little side to side shimmy here. And this is about as strenuous as we're gonna get. If you're getting a little sweat going now, you're gonna be all right. Inhale it back up. Big sip of air, exhale, down one more time. You want a little bit more, you can place those hands on the thigh. Maybe dip a shoulder in to the center. Thighs are probably screaming at you a little bit. All right, let's take it up one more time. Exhale, fold forward, sink in one more time. Just begin to heel toe your feet back in towards each other. And when we get where you're going, just go ahead and come down to a nice, comfortable seat. Wonderful. Good. All right, so we're gonna do some floor work here. So I love having a blanket underneath those hips, especially in our forward folds. A little tilt in the pelvis really helps you get a little bit more lean forward. So you take that blanket, have it kind of folded up behind you. You can also sit up on a block. It really does make a difference, even if you're super bendy like Johnny over here. All right, so taking it into staff pose. Take a moment here. Make sure you're in front of those sit bones. So what I mean by that is a lot of times, if you're sitting back in your pelvis and you're trying to fold forward, you're going nowhere. So make sure you kind of wiggle, kind of peel the bum back a little bit. So you have that anchor down here. And then really, really important, keeping these feet nice and active. So we want to draw these toes in towards the kneecaps, push down through the thighs. We're going to inhale, lift up and lengthen. And as we fold, we're going to reach our crown and fingertips forward, hinging at the hips. Grab for whatever you can get a hold of here. Maybe it's the toes, maybe it's the thighs. You can have a strap here as well. Take a moment, take a big sip of air and lengthen through the crown again. Keep those feet active. Exhale, fold in. Breathe into that space in between the shoulder blades. Kind of wiggle those hips back and forth a little bit, finding a little more length. Slowly begin to walk fingertips back up. We'll take it to a wide leg forward, a wide-legged stance here. So take a moment, just to help the legs out. Same thing, we want to be up in front of those sit bones here. So get yourself organized. And then again, make sure these feet aren't just like falling asleep on us. Keep them active, draw those toes back to the knees. That also keeps your knees engaged and protects the knees as well. All right. We're going to inhale up here. You exhale, you get to walk forward to whatever degree is comfortable. Keep those feet active, press through the heels. Slowly bring yourself back up. And then we'll go ahead and take one foot, draw it in towards the thigh on whatever leg is comfortable. Keeping that foot active here. We're going to inhale up. We're going to exhale. We're going to take a little twist. Take that hand to the inside of the thigh to kind of open up through this part of the body. Roll the other shoulder back and just look over the shoulder. Keep that extended leg active. Gently begin to unwind. Then you're going to slide that forearm down the leg so you can have a block here. And so we're creating some opening on this side of the body, and we're going to take the other arm up and reach it up and over. So again, keeping that chest open so that shoulder's not here. It's back behind you as much as is comfortable for you. And then taking that side body stretch, maybe you reach up, maybe you grab that toe. Johnny, I know where you're going. Open it up. Deep breath in. Get that breath into those corners we normally don't. Stay for one more breath. Easy, easy, gently unwind it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and turn our chest towards that extended leg. Inhale up, lining that sternum right up over the leg. Reach it up, exhale, begin to walk it forward. If you want a little deeper twist here, you can take that hand, reach it across for the outer edge of that foot, and maybe sink the head down as you take a little bit of a sort of folded twist here. If that's not comfortable, forget about it. Let's try to check the time. Let's all stay for another breath. Gently, let's release, walk those fingertips back in. Inhale it back up. Exhale, we're gonna twist on over again. This time, if you want a little more, roll that shoulder back. And you can roll to the inside of that foot up and just lift those hips up to the sky, opening up through the hip. Push the hips forward. You tuck the tail in. Big breath in here. Gently, gently lower it back down. All right. Let's go ahead and drag that other leg in. Bring both heels together. Balasana. Drag those heels in towards the pelvis as much as comfortable. Roll those shoulders back. Create some space in the front of the body. Big sip of air. Exhale. Hinge forward. Walk forward. Your tailbone's going to want to kind of pop up here, so just root back down through it. Nice and slow. Bring it back up. Extend the opposite leg. Draw that other heel in towards the inside of the thigh. Nice and active in this foot here. Inhale up. As we exhale and twist, we're going to push into that inside of the leg, opening up through this side of the body and that leg. Roll that other shoulder back. Just take a twist. Really find when you create space before you get into folds and twists. Wow, I can do a lot more than I thought I could. So take the time to create that space. All right, we're going to go ahead and slide that forearm to the inside of that leg. Draw that other arm up and back. Or like I said, if that's hard for you, you can take it in front of you first. And then go ahead and take a nice side body stretch. You can reach that big toe with the peace fingers. Maybe you're grabbing a hold of that. Every side's a little bit different. Let's take one more breath here. Gently start to come up and out of it. Rotate that sternum back towards that extended leg. Line it up. Inhale up. Exhale, hinge forward. You want that little extra deepening of the twist. You can reach for the outside of that foot. Drop down. All right, taking your time, slowly unwinding wherever you are. You go and inhale back up. Exhale back to that other side for a twist. Roll that shoulder back, create some space here. Roll to the inside of that leg, shoot those hips up and out. All right, take your time. Just slowly get up and out of that. All right, we'll go ahead here and bring your feet wider than shoulder width apart. Roll the shoulders back so your chest is shining forward. And then we're just gonna let those hips kind of fall windshield wiper side to side. As your knees sort of get down where they're going, the hip that's up, go ahead and roll that hip up so you're just getting a little extra hip love there. A little hip check. Let's all take them on over to one side and then just begin to walk your hands around back behind you. Take a little twist. Lift up through the chest. Big breath in. Exhale, maybe you add the gaze on up and over that far shoulder. Let's stay for one more breath. Take our time. Mitchy march back around, as Kristen likes to say. The knees fall on over to the other side. Move slowly, move with intention. Begin to walk back around the other side. If anything is pinching, anything like that, gently back off. Maybe adding the gaze. Let's go ahead and begin to unwind ourselves here. Go ahead and see where we're at time-wise. Oh, yeah. Fantastic. All right, let's go ahead and take ourselves onto our backs here. Beginning to wind down that practice. Grab your block if you still have it nearby. We'll work through some bridge pose variations here. So go ahead and draw the heels in towards the glutes as much as possible. Kind of work in a minute here. Those are going to be our foundation for our bridge. Palms can be face down. And then just go ahead and relax the back of the head. Let's just be here for a moment, just feeling that earth underneath us, holding us up, supporting us. Feel that vibration through the body. Just taking notice of the qualities of this moment. Sights, sounds, sensations. Just letting everything settle here for a moment. Yeah, let's begin to work through bridge pose. So I'll cue some different variations here. You can have that block nearby for support, and I'll do that here in a minute. Just go ahead and press into those forearms. Just begin to lift up through those hips and squeeze the knees together as if you had a block in between them. So that core is active, that belly button is drawing in towards the back of the spine, and that tailbone is tucked in. So options here, if you want to open up the shoulders a little bit more, you can slide one elbow towards the center, clasp the hands together, and then slide the other hand underneath. So you're opening up through the heart. Draw down through the knuckles. So when we get into back bends, we really want to focus on the front of the body. So trying to open up the front of the body instead of bending the back. If this is tough for you, you can go ahead and take it down and pause and come back up into it. If you're in it, let's hold it for one more breath. Squeeze everything into the center line of the body. Big breath in. Exhale, gently begin to release. Slide those shoulders out from underneath. Let the hips fall back down. Let's take a counter pose. So we're gonna go ahead and draw the knees in towards the chest. Squeeze the thighs in towards the ribs. Draw the tailbone down. Gentle rock side to side. Place those heels back down, draw them back in towards the glutes. And then options here again. You can do that same variation. If you want a little bit more, do some leg work, work into a shoulder stand. I'll kind of do that. So bring the hips back and up. Squeeze those knees together. If you want to add a block, it can be on the higher setting. It can be on the lower setting. I love this, even if you love bridge normally. This really helps to open up the front of that body. Squeeze everything in. Maybe you add one leg, pushing that heel up to the sky, flexing and pointing that foot. Feel strong in your foundation, wherever that anchor is, those toes that are down, those forearms. Go ahead and switch legs if you have one leg lifted. If you're just working through that same bridge pose, you can just come up out of that whenever feels okay. You can work through that counter pose, bring your knees into chest. If you want to go into a shoulder stand and you have the block supported, you can bring both legs up, take your time. Or if you want to come into shoulder stand, you go ahead and bring those palms to the back, support the sacrum here. Strong in your core, not rolling too much up onto that neck. If you want to take it into plow pose, you can take those toes back up over the head. If this isn't happening for you, don't worry about it. Get out of there. Make sure you take good care of yourself. Wherever you're at, go ahead and finish up. If you're in that inversion, still playing with bridge, maybe you're already down on your back. Let's go ahead and squeeze those knees back into the chest. We'll rock side to side. Maybe some big circles with the knees, just opening up the hips here, releasing that low back. Both directions. All right, let's go ahead and keep one knee in, extend the other leg out in front of you. Keep that leg active, so drawing those toes back, just like we were doing in that seated series. Squeeze one knee up into the chest and then begin to draw it across the body. So we want those shoulder blades flat on the ground as much as possible. So you do the twist as much as is comfortable and as you can have those shoulders firmly on the ground. Those are our anchors here. And then if you want a little bit more, you can take your twist or your head and twist it the other direction that you're twisted. We'll add a little bit more on. Remembering your breath is your guide here, so you can back off, fill up. On the exhale, twist a little deeper if it feels good. Beginning to let everything slow down. Let's take one more collective breath here. And we'll gently begin to unwind ourselves. Bring it back to center, draw those knees back in. Take that twist to the other side. So one knee, draw it in. Extend the other leg out in front of you. Keep that foot active, press through that heel. Then go ahead and draw that knee across the body, firmly down through those shoulders. Add the gaze last if you choose to. One more breath in here. Exhale, twist in just a little deeper. Take your time, start to unwind everything. And then let's go ahead and all take a Balasana, happy baby. So we'll go ahead, keep those heels up to the sky, let those hips open nice and wide. You can reach for big toes with peace fingers. You can reach for the outer edges. We want to draw that tailbone down towards the earth. As you draw those knees towards the armpits, open up through the heart space. Draw the breath down into the pelvis. And then a little gentle rock side to side. Massage that low back, kidneys. If there's anything else you'd like to add on before we come into Shavasana, now would be that time. Otherwise, just go ahead and bring knees back together. Extend those legs nice and long. Get yourself situated nice and comfortable. I'm gonna just sit up here so you guys can hear me a little better. Just let those ankles open up like a book and let that opening sort of travel up into the hips. Palms can be face up towards the sky. Just take a moment here. Just notice how you feel. Notice how you feel different from where we began. Notice the qualities of the moment, maybe how they've changed, how the body feels against the earth, how the heart space feels. Notice any last bits of tension you might be holding in the jaw, face, eyes. Soften, let it go. And then just take a moment to sort of remove the labels of this is my head, this is my heart, this is my foot, and just let it all sort of meld together with that energy we created in our practice. Let the union happen, let the yoga happen. Just feel that energy flowing through you as one unified source. And then one step further, can you remove the labels of this is the ground, this is the sky, this is me, and just let everything kind of meld together. Just feeling that rhythm of life flowing through all of us collectively. One big collective breath. I like to kind of say we're all just different hairs on one big dog that is the universe. Just be here for a few moments with the benefits of your practice. Enjoy that yoga buzz, and I'll call you back in a few. All right, yogis, begin to just gently deepen that breath. Just welcome sensation back into the body by wiggling fingers and toes. Subtle micro movements, maybe raising eyebrows, moistening the lips. Just take your time. Maybe a full body stretch, draw the ankles together. Draw those arms up overhead. flex and point those toes. Just take a full body stretch here. Fill up with air. As you take a nice long exhale, gather everything together, draw those knees in towards the heart space. Give yourself one last big hug. And take your time, roll off to one side. You want to pause as you're coming up in embryo pose, just feeling that final connection with the earth. Make your way back up to a comfortable seat when you're ready. Gaze can be soft, eyes can be closed. Ending in this final comfortable seat where we began. Again, just noticing. Feel your alignment of heart over hips and head over heart. Feel the root of your seat and the lift of your crown as that breath flows between these two opposing forces. Uniting them. This is the yoga. Extend those arms out to the side. Let's inhale. Gather up all that wonderful energy. Lift up, look up. Draw those palms in towards that heart space. Take a moment here to thank yourself for that self-care. Filling ourselves with courage, compassion, and contentment. Letting go of fear, doubt, judgment, and desire. It was really an honor to fill in here for Kristen and see you all here. The light in me honors the divine light in each and every one of you. And since it's Valentine's Day, I got to give a special little salute to my lovely wife right there. Thank you, everyone. Acknowledge everyone around you. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. We got some little C's candy pops over here. So
namaste.
Please help yourself. Like I said, I'm Tom. I teach every Tuesday morning at 8:15. A little bit more low class, but teach for all levels. So please come out and join us. And everyone have a wonderful day.